We probably should acknowledge that we were on a bit of a hiatus, but it was really a Diana moving break.
And losing my sanity and going crazy for a while.
Yes. Which will happen anytime you move.
Yes.
Boxes. Well, there's still boxes everywhere, but we closed the doors so y'all don't have to know. It's okay.
I look like a hoarder.
You might actually be a hoarder.
I might be.
That's not the point.
We'll see how it looks in a month.
If you're into self-deprecating humor, this
Right.
is the place to be.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
But we wanted to discuss the fact that the Mormon Church has $100 billion.
At least in that one investment thing.
Yeah, in that one investment thing.
There could be more billions.
I know Mormon Leaks, which is now, I believe, the Truth and Transparency Foundation, discovered like $32 billion in stocks. So 100 billion, 32 billion, that doesn't count like their actual property holdings.
That's terrifying.
Yes, it is.
I didn't actually process that before.
Yeah. I guess we should say, have people seen the Washington Post article? I feel like most of our ex-Mormon friends have seen it. I read the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie, it was written by someone much smarter than me. Some of it was way over my head. But the gist is that the Mormon Church has $1 billion.
$100 billion.
Oh, $100 billion. I can't even fathom that kind of money because I'm a middle class kid whose parents paid 10% of their income to a church that has $100 billion. It's somewhat disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of pisses me off.
Right.
My parents spent years not saving for retirement. They do now. Like, I think they'll be okay. Like, I'm not saying my parents are gonna be destitute. They chose to give to the church. They believe in it. That it's their right to give it to the church. I seriously doubt they were aware the church had $100 billion.
Yeah.
I just... read the Washington Post article yourself. I don't really want to get, like, to it. I mean, it gets a little... I mean, if you're a smart financial person, it'll probably make perfect sense to you.
But, I mean, I think one of the important points right here is, you know, nonprofits, including religious groups, are exempt from paying taxes.
Paying taxes on $100 billion could fix a lot of problems in this country.
Yeah, especially because they probably have more money than that. And then I read a thing that was like based off of whatever standard, I'm not a financial person either, that $100 billion would make like at least $7.87 billion more dollars a year just for existing.
Oh god, interest is real.
Interest is real.
I mean, I only pay it, so I don't know a whole lot about it.
We don't get the fun end of it.
No.
And if you're listening to us ramble, I'm kind of scrolling through it, so maybe you're reading it, but... Oh yeah! No, just kidding. This part, the church typically collects $7 billion each year in contributions from members.
Well...
So, like...
And their operating expenses, I guess, are estimated at $6 billion a year.
Uh-huh.
So, they're taking they have an extra $1 billion every year.
Right.
That they're investing with... What I understand to believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I understand to believe is an asset management firm that they in fact own. So it's a very large circle. I'd like to say the circle of life, but I think it's just a circle of money.
Yeah.
That goes
$12 billion in 1997 to $100 billion today. There's a nice little chart.
I mean, I wish I had $12 billion in 1997.
I mean, based off of this graph, I kind of just wish I was Bill Gates.
Yeah, that's true. Or the Bridgewater Associates people.
Yeah. That's a whole hedge fund, though. I'm gonna say that like I know what a hedge fund is.
Yeah, I'm not someone who knows what a hedge fund is.
Nope.
Not.
But the fact that, like...
experience.
Like, so Bill and Melinda Gates, Microsoft, like, that's all... That's all technology, right?
Uh-huh.
Bill Gates, all that. So this is just his worth. And then you've got their philanthropic fund. So giving money to people.
Yeah.
And then freaking Harvard University's kicking it in there. But, like, why is a church at the top of this list?
I can't. Like, a church should not be at the top of the list. And, like, here's the thing. The Catholics have lots of assets.
Right.
I haven't researched this, but I know it's true.
I'm probably going to have to research it now.
Well, okay. But maybe not right this minute.
I was gonna say...
Okay.
Alexa, what is the net worth of the Catholic Church?
Well, they're just all broken up into
According to
diocese.
another Amazon company, between $10 billion and $30 billion.
No. Alexa, what is the net worth of the Church of Scientology? What is the net worth of the Church of Scientology?
Here's something I found on the web.
Okay.
According to Seeker.com, in total, it's estimated that the Church of Scientology is worth over $1.2 billion, according to Business Insider.
That's freaking nothing compared to this.
Yeah, Scientology is weak sauce, but that's
I was
really
gonna
not
say I'll
the
have to
point.
look it up later and add things on the screen, but I can just ask that.
Ask the Alexa. So the Mormon Church has so much money, they don't know what to do with it all.
Yeah.
I could give them some suggestions.
Right.
So here's the thing.
Go find every single homeless person and hand them money.
Well, I mean, they're...
I mean...
At least, like, house the homeless
Mhm.
in your empty buildings that sit empty 5 days a week, more
or maybe
less.
open them up to feed them.
Right.
Some
Like,
of
the
that
Catholics have, like, very good, like, they have soup kitchens, and they
Right.
have, and not that I'm pro or anti-Catholic, I don't want people
Well, a
mad
lot
at me
of
'cause-
churches that don't have $100 billion feed people
Yes.
for either free or very little money.
Right.
So,
So you could feed the homeless, or just the less, you know, there's
Right.
people that are trying to pay their bills that need meals because they
Mhm.
spend all their money on their bills.
right.
Another thing is the Mormon Church has this fun program that I prefer to call every member a janitor. So when I was a young child, the Mormon Church paid janitors to, like, clean the buildings.
No.
So they'd go, and mind you, Mormon churches aren't getting filthy on a regular basis.
Right.
Like, worship and youth group. It's nothing
Mhm.
that, requires intense cleaning.
Might have to vacuum, dust a little.
Yeah,
Wipe-
vacuum, dust,
wipe a surface.
clean the
Yeah.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
It's very basic cleaning. But no, the church decided it would save money to further its mission, probably around 1997, actually.
No.
Oddly. No. Well, it was probably earlier than that. I know it was before
Yeah.
we moved here,
Hmm.
and we moved here in 98.
Okay.
So, because I remember when I was a young child, there were church janitors, and then there are no longer church
Aw.
janitors. You have a...
Because you were the church janitor.
Yes. Your ward
is
takes turns.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it your calling from God to be the janitor, or is it just
no,
like
there's a sign-up
okay.
sheet that goes
Oh.
around. But once again, that whole leadership roulette concept. It depends on who's in charge.
Jeez.
I've seen texts from people, like, that people have received that, they haven't been to church in months, yet they're getting a text that it's their week, they've been assigned to help clean the church.
Oh.
I'm like, well, voluntold it is!
Ah, get right on that.
So, like, really, you have $100 billion sitting around, and you can't pay someone, and, I mean, you wouldn't have to actually hire, like, if the church doesn't want to hire janitors,
Mm-hmm.
they could pay an outside cleaning service to come into the chapels once a week and clean.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason that people with families and lives should be expected to go clean their church building when the church has $100 billion. It's just ludicrous.
It is. And I think a lot of
They could give each of their members like $6,000 because they've got like 16 million members.
Huh.
I mean, I still don't know that that number's accurate. I
Yeah.
feel like they're inflating their numbers, but that's not really the point of today's episode.
Right. And I think the whole IRS rules dictate that a nonprofit must carry out charitable activity that is, word I can't pronounce, in scope with its financial resources. Like, what is commensurate with $100 billion?
Well, it's tricky, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'll be real
Yeah.
honest. And I think they've only taken, from what I understand, they've only taken money out of this fund twice. Once was to bail out a life insurance company the church owns. And the other time, which has to do with the City Creek Mall. I think
this right here?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, church-owned shopping mall.
Yeah, so I mean, go find this and read it. Just Google Washington Post Mormon and you'll find it.
1 day ago.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe by the time you Google, it'll be...
1 day ago from December 18th.
Yeah, probably further than that ago, but...
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I would love... Because this guy made a whistleblower, basically fraud or like IRS violation type complaint. Against this company, which is owned by the church, which, anyway, manages the church's money. It's a very confusing circle.
Yeah.
So I doubt anything will come, at least in like the short term. I don't think anything's gonna come of his claim.
Yeah.
Just being realistic. I'm not trying to be an ass or say that it's bullshit.
Right.
I think the fact that the Mormon Church has $100 billion is bullshit.
Wait, could they afford PR people and lawyers to make this go away?
Yes, they could.
Huh.
Which I saw something, Apostate Coffee, by the way. They posted something that they're like, here's the church's distraction from the $100 billion it has. So back when I was active in the church, I guess is how I should put it.
Okay.
The church had a policy that children that were born to like polygamous families, because a lot of at this point, a lot of polygamists have never been a member of the official Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They were part of offshoot groups that left way back, like early 1900s. Distraction from the church having $100 billion. Apostate Coffee posted this on their Instagram. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has announced a new policy in regards to children of polygamist families being baptized. So you're a polygamist. Well, not really.
Not personally, but
for sake of the story.
Okay.
You're a polygamist. You have a child. Your child makes good friends with the Mormon kids at school because, you believe in the Book of Mormon. You sing the same songs, probably, I'm assuming. So your children make friends with this Latter-day Saint child at school.
Okay.
And your child wants to be baptized. When I was involved in the church, you had to wait till you were 18 to be baptized.
So that I could denounce my parents?
Yes, so you
all
can denounce...
17 of my parents?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll just say 4.
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to be overachieving polygamists in this scenario.
Okay.
So you denounce your parents' way of life, which is so bizarre because, the church was cool with it for so long.
Right.
But now you've got to denounce it. And then you could get baptized. And I think you had to get some sort of clearance from a general authority.
Okay.
I don't think like Quorum of the 12 Apostles. I think Quorum of the 70.
Oh.
So, but now, with parental permission, an 8-year-old child of polygamists can get baptized.
Do they also have to denounce their parents' beliefs?
No, because they're 8.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like it creates a really confusing...
I was just trying to picture an 8-year-old being like, I solemnly swear that I do not believe in polygamy. Baptize me, Mormon Jesus.
I feel like that's like asking an 8-year-old if they masturbate. I feel like it's just going to create a lot of questions for the 8-year-old.
Anyways,
where were we going with this?
I don't know.
I guess we should talk about the church's response.
Right. Yeah, we didn't
talk about the church's response. So the church responded. And Diana has a favorite part of their response that pretty well sums it up. If she can find it.
So right here, this...
Okay.
Oh god, too much. This right here is like the official... The thing I read said, the first presidency responds to allegations.
Like they're so important.
Dramatic!
So important.
My main part, though, because, like, blah, blah, why do you have all this money? Abortion is methodically
portion. That's not even all of it. It's a portion.
It is a portion. Is methodically safeguarded through wise financial management, company we pay, maybe, and the building of a prudent reserve for the future.
I don't understand why $100 billion is far more than a prudent reserve.
Right. And what are you doing in the future that, like, are they worried that they're going to have to house, feed, clothe, bathe, doctor every single Mormon one day?
Well, but they don't do that now.
No, they don't.
Like, the church does have a decent welfare system, but it's managed on, like, a small local, like, it's based on a local decision who gets what, how much they get, how long they'll receive the church's benefits. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, there's people who, like, if you don't pay your tithing, they're not gonna help you when you need groceries.
Oh.
Like, but there's it comes back to the whole leadership roulette concept where you might have a more liberal guy in charge and he's like, no, this person needs help. We're gonna help this person no matter what. But then you have we're gonna help this guy because he's the Elders Quorum president and he got laid off and he's always been really good and always pays his tithing and is probably paying tithing on his unemployment benefits, but that's not quite enough to, he can pay all his bills and his tithing, but he can't buy groceries. Yeah. So we're gonna give his family food.
To break down the response, though.
Okay.
So we take seriously the responsibility to care for tithes and donations received from the members. How much did we say they probably get a year from tithing?
I think they said they got $7 billion a year from tithing.
Okay.
And operating expenses are $6 billion a year.
So then we could assume
that there's an extra billion.
They're profiting $1 billion a year?
Right.
But how many years? And then whatever. So I'm calling bullshit on the first sentence, basically. The vast majority of these funds are used to immediately meet the needs of the growing church, including building things.
Okay, but the church isn't growing.
Right. Humanitarian work and missionary efforts. Don't missionaries pay for crap themselves?
Missionaries pay to go on missions. So missionaries pay the church to go on a mission and they're allotted a certain amount of money. So, like, I know, like, they say this isn't supposed to happen. You're supposed to live on, what you're given by the church. But I know plenty of people who had their own personal debit card or their parents' credit card while they were on their mission. Mm-hmm. Which is great if you have loaded parents or your companion has rich parents or, even upper middle class. I don't have to say rich, but upper middle class parents that paid for your mission. And then you have extra money for, necessities. And that's a whole nother.
But it's a sound doctrinal and financial principle taught by the Savior in what I'm assuming is some book or something.
The parable of the talents is in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
So you're supposed to use your talents to do good. But I'd have to read this parable again. But if I recall, the guy who buried his talents in the earth lost them. So I feel like the church is burying their talents in the earth. And they're not going to be able to dig them up because they're going to forget where they buried them because they're a bunch of old geezers.
I was going to say, if I Photoshop that thing that I didn't tell you I was going to Photoshop that is in my brain right now, I'm going to show you how I use my powers for evil, not good, right here. All church funds exist for no other reason than to support the church. Not the church's divinely appointed mission. It's to support the church.
But that's the fun thing about having a divinely appointed mission. It can be whatever you want it to be, Diana.
Oh, shit. I forgot about Mormon Jesus.
You forgot that when you speak to your God directly, and you have continuing revelation, God's will can change.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's why shoulders are bad now, right? Yeah. Because God decided, Mormon God. But basically, the dude who said the thing left the church.
So the church is going to push him off as like some disgruntled ex-member / ex-employee, which maybe he is. Like, I can see that being a scenario. Like, I'm a pretty realistic person.
Yeah.
I don't But I don't think that's enough to brush aside the fact that the church has $100 billion.
Right. Well, and okay, so right here, Russell M. Nelson here said that it provided more than $2 billion to assist those in need. You know, like at General Conference.
Oh, but they took out that since 1985.
Well, no, that part, it's up here.
Oh, okay, they left that in.
It's up here, but not whatever. I don't know. I'm just...
Well, and then... I'm sorry, but...
Oh, look! They all help members with food, housing, and other welfare needs on a daily basis.
See, that's the key right there,
Oh,
where it
members.
says members.
Oh, and you have to pay your tithing, I'm assuming, to get help?
Probably, I mean, more than likely.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you're a mom who doesn't work and your husband left you, maybe you could get away with having not paid tithing since, you know, the husband made the money and you were a stay-at-home mom. I do think the whole thing's weird that the guy who was the whistleblower, that his twin brother's speaking for him.
Uh-huh.
I find that a little fishy.
It's a little fishy.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, it's an hour and I don't have an hour and 17 minutes.
Good lord.
Well, I guess check that out if y'all are interested. I haven't had a chance yet.
No.
Ooh, he gives us all their information if you want to call him and ask questions.
I think you should.
So, it turns out that the Mormons...
Yeah, we know that.
But, okay.
Here's forms.
He's got
forms if
like,
y'all are interested in IRS
right,
forms.
Right, if you want to go... Here, I'm going to shut him up. But my point, though, is if you're interested in charts and all this stuff, like, he's got a lot of...
Right.
Crap
you
in
can
here.
look into all this and read it. I, however, have a full-time job. I think he had like a 7... Someone told me... Well, no, because I was listening to the Mormon Happy Hour podcast today, and it had the guy from, well, Mormon Lakes, but apparently their real name is the Truth and Transparency Foundation. What did I tell you his name was? Ryan McKnight. It's like Brian McKnight, but not.
But Ryan.
Ryan.
Gotcha.
Minus the B.
Side note, the 7-minute one is the one I was actually looking for.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where it goes.
I am very interested to see where it goes.
Because like I said, that statement, the response from the first presidency, is using big words to confuse people.
Yes, and I feel like the Mormons will be like, oh yeah, our church is huge, look at how much money we have.
Right, they're not going to be like, oh, he said they've used $2 billion for charitable things in the last 34 years, but there's $100 billion.
Yeah, and I don't understand why the church thinks they need $100 billion reserve.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I can't think of any logical reason.
Because, well, unless it's actually a doomsday cult, and they have some underground bunker system, and they're gonna house and clothe and feed and doctor and babies and everything, all the Mormons.
But then they're gonna have to, like, make all that themselves because money will be worthless.
Right. Unless they're saving up to buy Utah.
Buy it back from the U.S. government.
Yeah.
And then they'll start practicing polygamy again. Maybe that's why their distraction from the fact that they have $100 billion was that the children polygamists can get baptized now.
Oh, I'm onto you. They want to buy Utah from the U.S. government. Wonder how much a state costs.